Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Conor McGilligan. We're back here with another video. Please check out the Sheffield Wednesday video from earlier on. We're going to get into more of that today, but your club may be featured today. Who knows? It is the transfer roundup, the Championship Transfer Daily. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. So, Brandon Thomas Asante, I wanted to focus on him today, everybody, as well. The Coventry striker signed by Mark Robins. Hold on to that one. Has scored 1 goal in 29. It hasn't been a good signing so far for the Sky Blues. However, that could develop, but interest is growing from Stoke City. Bet365 Stadium, Mark Robins. Also, it is growing as well from John Eustace at Blackburn Rovers. It feels like right now every single club is vying for a striker. We'll get onto that in just a little bit in terms of more clubs going for different players. However, Asante feels like an open goal, doesn't it, for these two clubs? But if I'm Coventry, I'm thinking, do you keep hold of this guy? You know, this guy, beforehand, last campaign, he got 12 goals. You have Premier League clubs looking at him. For me, he's got pace, power, precision, versatility in that attacking component. And I just feel like you've just got to get the best out of him. An arm around the shoulder, a little bit of man management right now in his career. Maybe Mark Robins is essential for that. Of course, the man that brought him in at Coventry. Next on the agenda, everybody, is Louie Barry. And of course, we know that Sunderland and Sheffield United have had interest in him. However, it is Derby County and Millwall who are front running right now. Derby County would be a really good option for him, in my opinion, to apply his trade. I think they need a little bit of quality in that attacking third. I do wonder as well, Caden Jackson, if you could potentially replace him and put Louie Barry on that side, or maybe in that central attacking midfield role if you wanted to do that, or even the striker role. He's a Swiss Army knife, isn't he? Millwall, on the other hand, maybe they just want to replace like for like. Tom Bradshaw has just left for Oxford United. That's a really good move for Oxford, by the way. 17 goals in his most prolific season under Gary Rowett. Gary Rowett now, of course, at Oxford United. And I do wonder whether or not that Millwall option would be attractive for Louie Barry. The reason I think he might go to a Derby or a Millwall is probably because it's the Hull City factor with Fabio Carvalho. More minutes. Carvalho rejected Leeds United and Southampton, went to Hull City last season, got his move to Brentford for 27 million quid because he got minutes. Louie Barry is going to get minutes at Derby County and Millwall. He's not going to be rotated. He's going to be their main man. Both are also interested in Caden Dans at Liverpool. The striker needs a move. He's around about 19 years of age, I believe, and he needs a move now to just prove himself a little bit. He's at that age where he needs a championship move. It's worked out for the likes of Tom Cannon, hasn't it? And I think it could work for Dan's right now. He looks like a really nifty player, looks good on the turn as well, has got a real acceleration, and has impressed, I should say, in cup games as well. So Millwall and Derby both vying and looking at the same signature there. Louie Barry or Dan's, let me know in the comment section below, guys. What do you think on that one? Tegan Finn. Plymouth, I feel for you. Now, this boy, 16 years of age, Wayne Rooney, has said that he is going to be a star. He said as well that he's got potential to be a really, really big talent when it comes to football going forward. Rooney making his debut, obviously, at 15, 16 years of age as well. But the former England and former Plymouth manager was saying that in pre-season he massively impressed. And that has led towards Premier League clubs sniffing around. On one hand, Plymouth are thinking, one of our own, we'd love for him to play for Plymouth for a set amount of time and go through the ranks and play 1 or 2 seasons for us before getting picked off by the big boys. He's turning 17 next month, but it does feel right now that one of the big boys might pick him up in January, but potentially could send him out on loan again. And could that loan move be Plymouth? We'll have to wait and see. Tom Cannon, everybody. My God, Tom Cannon. Listen, an obligation for a £13 million fee seems to be in the works with Sunderland and Sheffield United if they get promoted. That seems to be the biggest offer on the table right now. Burnley are said to be going in with a straight offer of 10 million quid. At some stage, Hull City want his signature as well. Hull an outsider because they will be playing him every single match. Sheffield United would Kiefer Moore and Tyrese Campbell potentially get ahead of him. Sunderland will Isidore potentially get ahead of him if they're playing 4-2-3-1 and Cannon wants to play as a striker. Hull City ready-made for him. However, I do think it's going to be towards the big boys a little bit in this division with the greatest of respect. I do wonder where Cannon is going to think about his future. If I'm him, go to Sunderland. Isidore and him competing a little bit. But there's a little bit more opportunity for him there. If he does want to play as a centre forward, I know he can play really anywhere along that sort of front three, I'd say. Maybe not as a cam, but definitely in that front three in terms of a little bit of acceleration and pace he could have on the right-hand side, maybe even cutting in Navas' strike. He's got a good shot efficiency off that left-hand side as well. So loads to consider there, but Cannon, for me, he'd have more opportunity at Sunderland with Isidore, especially recently when Regis Labrise has gone to a front two. Maybe instead of Meander, it could be Tom Cannon. Wait and see on that one, but that one just doesn't seem to be going away. Latte Lath is another one to keep an eye on, everybody. It looks like Atlanta are going to be sewing that one up, but apparently they're adding Miguel Almiron as well, former Atlanta player, to the ranks as well. Apparently it's going to be a combined £30 million deal. Borough, they're going to have to go into the market, aren't they, for a striker? But, oh my God, look at the capital that they've now got in the club. And obviously, everybody, Shea Charles. You can watch my other Sheffield Wednesday video on Shea Charles. But listen, Defon Chansiri mentioned last night that apparently he has gone back to Southampton. Southampton have regained him. They've activated that recall clause. He's gone back. Southampton have said, look, with a loan fee, apparently that, you know, Sheffield Wednesday could get him back. Will Defon Chansiri provide that loan fee? It doesn't look like that's going to happen right now, because there is another club in the picture. It's Sheffield United. Now, this would be an absolute hammer blow for Sheffield Wednesday if Sheffield United came and took essentially their best player. I know it's on loan, but essentially they came and took him. Back in Sheffield, doesn't have to do that much. As acclimatised to the city, apparently, by all reports, he's loving it in Sheffield. Wouldn't have to move. But the intercity rivals of Sheffield United, who are looking to bolster that central midfield region with Hamza Chowdhury, Vinny Souza been in there but has had his injuries. Arblas have been out for the season. Tom Davis is the sort of regularity when it comes to quality and consistency in that midfield. Questions there. But my goodness, if they're actually going to go and get Shea Charles, there's going to be riots. There's going to be riots in Sheffield. I just don't think... For me right now, Chansiri has to do everything to go and get him. He has to do everything to go and get him. He had an absolute abomination of a fan forum last night where he didn't back the manager, for me. Kind of called out the fans a little bit. It's another bad look for Defon Chansiri. I don't think they can lose Shea Charles right now and have genuine possibilities of thinking that they can finish in the top 10. He's overachieving this squad. He's got to back Danny Roll, and they've got the advantage for me anyway. They've got the advantage that Shea Charles has been at Sheffield Wednesday, apparently loves it there. You know, he's really working within the system and he's loving the opportunity to play under Danny Roll. They've got to go and make that signing happen. They have to make it happen. They cannot lose Shea Charles to Sheffield United. It would be an abomination for Wednesday right now. Matija Frigan as well, everybody. The Tom Cannon Sunderland alternative, potentially. He's had a really good season at Westerlo in Belgium. Listen, that fits the Sunderland recruitment policy, doesn't it? An unknown, a little bit of someone who you're picking out of obscurity, not in a negative sense, but good recruitment, with like they did with Isidore, like they've done with Tri-Hume and many others, picking them out of obscurity and almost having that fit like they have with Hume, like they have with Isidore, those physical attributes to maybe transcend into the Premier League. A few little bits that they can improve on, but do they have the components to play in the Premier League? Those two in particular, in my opinion, definitely do. However, you do look at someone like Frigan and you look at how he's improved from last season. He's having a really good season this season in the Belgian League, and that fits the Sunderland blueprint, doesn't it? So Tom Cannon for 13 million as an obligation is a bit of a star signing. It really proves with Sunderland's recruitment how good Cannon is on many radar, because I do really rate their recruitment and what they've done over the years and the position that they're now in, competing with 3 parachute payment clubs right at the top level. However, right now with someone like Frigan, that is you just know that's going to be a good hit rate, and he might come in, compete with Isidore once again. If they do go to that front two a little bit more regularly, got 2 strikers up there, and apparently he's willing to move to the English division, so keep an eye on that one. That's been it from me, everybody. Hope you've liked and enjoyed. Make sure you comment and subscribe, and we're back here with the Burnley vs Sunderland watch along tomorrow. Please come, I'd really appreciate it, and we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.